Toya Design Co. presents real people, real stories, your inspiration. You're watching Raven Maven.
Welcome back to Raven Maven. This is probably my 7th episode. And I'm really excited to have Danny Shore with us. I would like to say Danny's like a teacher, digital savant. He doesn't really like that, but I like it. And marketing strategist. He's also a designer like me. And I'm so happy to have you with me today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So, welcome to Raven Maven.
Thank you.
Tell me what you've been up to.
Oh man, been up to a lot. Currently, I'm in North Carolina, working with McClatchy Interactive, which is a digital media company. We have local newspapers throughout the United States, 30 different newspapers, various markets, Miami Herald, Sacramento Bee, DC McClatchy. So I'm the audience product strategist for them, working with various markets on the digital technology, subscription growth strategy, and implementation. What else? Currently still taking on, design and consultation projects with my partner Devin from City Tech alumni.
City Tech, shout out.
Still taking on projects there as well. And right now this might probably be the slowest I've been in a while. So just kind of taking
a slower pace.
So on a little slower pace, surveying the land and then trying to figure out what the next step or direction may want to be.
And that's because you're doing multiple things at the same time, or probably like just trying to get used to it?
Probably because of the distance of the New York, the train, going back. I'm still going back and forth from New York to North Carolina.
Right.
So, that alters the game plan a bit.
Right.
But, probably, more so because of that, just, not trying to stretch yourself too thin right now. So.
Yeah.
When you're in
taking
New York,
on more than you can chew. Right.
When you're more like based in New York all the time, that New York energy just is like, so you always feel like you gotta have like 7 million things going on at once. So
right.
Now it's a little bit more balanced out, or trying to.
It's slower down there.
It's a little slower down there.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've been down there, and like I feel like everyone's perspective on life is quite different than a New Yorker's.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
So I wanted to talk about how did you go from being like when I first met you, we met in City Tech, of course, in class, and in Davis class.
Yeah, Professor
and
Davis.
Shout out to Professor Davis. Yeah.
Yes.
And I remember we were working on this campaign. It was like you had to create your own post office. Your own stamp. And what I remember significantly about you was your illustration skills. Mm-hmm. So to know that about you, to then, Danny is a web designer, and then now like into product and marketing strategy, and even now teaching, like how did you go from being just like, I'm just a illustrator, I'm just drawing, that's what I like to do, to that, to those things? Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a big transition, but I think for me it was all related.
Right.
Like at the end of the day, it was still some form of art, some form of design. It's different disciplines, but so before tech, I was at FIT for illustration. So I was already illustrating prior to tech, and and transition from Illustrator to like more graphic design, and then the graphic to web, and then the web, so on. So when you met me, I was already just illustrating, painting on my own. So now to kind of combine that into like digital campaigns, it just made it a little bit easier for me.
Right.
And like the concepts wasn't easier to come up with, but like more the execution, like I wanted to look a certain way. I can draw it out a little bit faster and sketch it out.
Right.
And it might have been a little bit of a crutch because I wasn't stronger in the Photoshops at the time. Everybody was
but you had the basic skill of, you had ideas. That's I think to me, like for us, and I think in this industry, it's not really about being able to know all these tools.
Right.
Yes, you need to learn the tools, but if you can conceptualize an idea that solves a business solution, then you're not going to be successful. So
truth.
So yeah, so I'm just saying, like, for me, I like to see like how much, like, I see that growth in you, because you went from, I have these skill sets, I can execute ideas, but now, like, seeing you into the strategy part, which that means you're understanding a specific problem that a business may have and how you can improve it. Like you're saying, you're doing subscriber growth and so forth. So, like, how did, like, that transition happen for you, or was it just, you think, the natural progression?
Nah, I think it was the design days, right? Because I always had an interest. When we met Davis, we met Davis, and Davis was kind of on that wave already. Like, I'm a designer who knows business, right? And marketing. And I was like, oh, that's cool, because I always had an interest in business and investment on my own.
Right.
So, you know, early on in the design field, it was like, you know, I definitely liked designing. What I didn't like was design decisions being made without my input that didn't make sense to me. Okay. Right? And it was like, you know, you would have an executive say, we want this, or we want this color. And it would just look pretty, but I'm like, this isn't going to sell you more tickets. Right. This is probably make you feel good at the end of the day. But if we're talking on the business side, there's no information behind it that we're not even solving what you really want to solve for, you know. And so the more, I think, frustrated I got with that happening a lot over and over, I got to get on the other side. I got to kind of
understand the business side.
Get ahead of the
talk like them.
or be able to decide prior, so that when I'm working with other designers, I don't want designers to feel like, you know, they don't have input, right? You know, and I mean, some designers do get input, but still, there's I think a little bias. Once the designer starts talking business, there tends to be like a mental bias on certain business people. Right. Like, oh, you're just here to make it pretty. You don't really.
Or Davis used to say, you don't want to be someone's hands.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, picture pusher.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And I think what's interesting about your growth is that you're able to display that it's not about not only having those skills, but like, I understand this is, I identify problems and I could like solve them, but creatively.
Right.
Like,
what's the real problem? Besides just saying we wanted to make it pop.
Exactly. I hate that.
Yeah, I know. So yeah.
Make it bigger.
Everybody wants the logo bigger. So.
Yeah.
So it just really kind of just kept on spiraling down there, and then I was like, all right, well, you know, I mean, I was already taking business and marketing class. Like, well, let me just go to grad school and kind of, you know, you go to grad school. I knew I wanted to get a master's at some point. Okay. I knew I didn't want it to be in design though. I was like, the design industry is changing too fast. I mean, probably for a lot of industries, but there's nothing I'm gonna learn in 2 years of design school that I wouldn't get from just working.
You could learn hands-on, I think. Yeah.
So for me, it just wasn't.
Didn't make sense.
I couldn't do it for both. So
it wasn't a smart business decision. It wouldn't have been.
It wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
It's something that complements each other. Business and design complements each other.
Yeah, so. And I really, I don't know about you, but I really like now that businesses really consider now.
Oh, they have to.
Yeah, the design perspective.
They have to.
And also for designers considering and accepting that there is a business that you're trying to work for. Like, we're in commercial design. We're not artists.
Right.
You know, we're not making sculptures. We're making we know how to talk to you. We do the research. We figure out what your interests are, and then we know how to speak to you, what colors to use, you know, who the person is, identify who the person is. So I think just seeing a lot more of that, I think I would say informed.
Yeah, I
mean, a
lot
more information, you know? We're in an information age, you know?
You have to. And it's more collaborative. Like, you have to be more collaborative if you want the business to survive.
Right.
Like, different departments, different disciplines have to
work together.
It's not going to work in isolation.
So, going forward, we talked about Douglas Davis, but I think for me and you and a lot of students of his, he was like a mentor, because he was the first person, like you said, who kind of like introduced that point of view of thinking about not only you're making something, but you're making something to solve a business problem. Right. So him being a mentor to you and other people, other designers, and to me, how has how do you think mentorship has added value to your life, and do you think you also like pay that forward today?
No, it's highly valuable, and it definitely played a major part. Similar to said about Davis, you know, before Davis, there was a few things that I wasn't really clear on. One, how to even have a career in the industry. To be honest, like I took city jobs because I didn't know what would happen. You know, like in the design field, right? You know, he was kind of first say, okay, this is how you have a career, this is how you kind of think about it.
Right.
And then even after the semester's over, you know, still keeping in contact with us, letting us know on different opportunities and things like that, which, you know, I was in college for a few years by then, and no other professor was really reaching out like that. So that was definitely, you know, major. And then just maintain. And also, I noticed a difference in our classmates. You had students who took Davis and then students who didn't. Yeah. And honestly, like even after you graduate, it would be weird
to see the impact on your life. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, there probably was other professors who was mentors like that. I don't know. Yeah. But I didn't receive that from the other professors. You know what I mean? So, you know, that was very, you know, he would hit me up to work on jobs with, you know, projects together.
Big companies too.
Big companies too. It wasn't like, you know, my friend's neighbor or something like that. So, you know, he instilled that trust and had me leading his projects for him when he was, you know, out the country or couldn't make it or something like that. So that was very important. And just kind of, you know, seeing how the industry works and then paying it forward without question. That's why I teach. That's why I teach. One of the main reasons, like teach, I do workshops, I do, you know.
I see you do guest lecturing.
You got a lot of, you know, just chopping it up and, you know, just this is what it is, you know, for a lot of people who may not be aware of how it is, you know, because it's not just learning programs. It's not just learning how to identify which type. You know, you gotta learn personalities, business. You gotta learn how to
psychology.
Yeah, psychology. It's a lot of things going on. So I'm real big on paying it forward. Hiring, you know, giving opportunities, internships, passing along, and just giving that up. Like my first time I was able to like hire other designers was like city tech people. Yeah. And not just because we tech, but that was really my backyard. It was in my networking backyard and just paying it forward. I'm like, all right, you win, you know, and pass it on if you can.
It feels good though to like put people on. You know?
Yeah.
As we like to say, put people on.
Yeah. But you won't put the right people on.
Right.
I've had a few people I put on it. You know,
it didn't work out.
You learn, you know.
Yeah, but that's part of your growth.
It's a process. It is a process, so yeah.
And speaking of like people on, but I want to talk about putting our people on, Black people on, because that's what, you know, for me, Raven Maven is about showcasing that there are Black people in creative in the creative industry. There are entrepreneurs, that are influencers, that are making an impact in our society. So what do you think is the importance of? I think it's very important for us to see ourselves out in the world doing these things. So in your perspective, do you think that's important, and why?
I mean, important? I think it's a no-brainer. Representation does matter, and it's impactful, right? Like, if you don't see no one like you doing it, then it's like, well, is this even possible? Right. And for me, that was definitely the case with me. Like, early on, I think I had like one professor prior to Davis who was Black, and he was photography, right? And you know, I like photography, but it wasn't my lane, my calling, and it wasn't even like the best class I had. So I was like, I guess, right? So you had some people, but I think once I saw Davis, met him, and you know, that was kind of, you know, you have those, I guess, milestone moments.
That benchmark,
yeah, and you know, just seeing like, okay, he's doing it. So I had other professors that was doing it, and you know, but when you kind of can see yourself in a certain situation, without question, that that is important.
It's important for us,
to see, you know, and I don't even know how you could say it's not right. Like,
and maybe one could argue, I don't think I would even think or had the courage to even maybe do certain things without, you know, this show is inspired by my friend who she just has her own business, and she was making videos, like doing testimonials and reviews. And I was like, I want to do videos, but I don't know what I want to do it on. And I'm very like passionate about, you know, just empowering not only people, but also my people, my Black people, you know, and just showcasing, like, you know, all these great things that we're doing, you know. So I don't know, like you said, I think it's very important. That's really like the mission for my show, you know. And shout outs again to Davis, because I just feel like he definitely was a benchmark in like at that point in my education. Got it. Becoming a creative, you know. Right.
I don't know if you had Bass.
I never had Bass.
I had Bass too. Bass was cool, and Bass was cool. But what he did do, I thought was real cool. Like he would make us write reports about designers.
That's interesting.
And graphic design. He would give us a list, and the list that he gave us was just people I've never even heard of. Because you hear about, you know, the industry giant, the juggernauts.
But there were juggernauts that looked like us that they're not talking about.
Yeah, I thought that was cool, because I didn't even know where to look. To be quite honest, even if I wanted to be like, hey, who are these?
My brother who did the Black Panther posters. He was honored by AIG.
Oh, okay.
I think his name is Emery. I'm bad with names.
That's why we got Google.
I know.
We got Google.
But, you know, they're out there. We out here.
yeah. So sometimes you kind of have to see it to kind of know. Yeah.
So, speaking on business, back to business, are there any marketing tips or advice that you would give to small businesses for 2018?
That's such a draw.
Because I feel like the 2018 is definitely like I don't know, for me, it's like, I feel like 2018 is going to be my year.
Okay,
so,
claim it.
So it's like, you know, I'm trying to get all the gems for everybody.
Right. I mean, to be honest, it would really depend on your business.
Right.
I mean, I couldn't give you a blanket statement.
It's not
like,
no coverall, yeah.
You know, go to Facebook. Like, yeah, I don't know. It depends on what your business is, right? It really depends. I mean, the only thing I can say is that every business could benefit from a digital marketing strategy in this day and age. What type of marketing digital strategy really depends on your business and what you're trying to achieve. It really depends on your goals. Some platforms is better. Instagram might be better depending on what business you got. Facebook might be better. And also, right, what's the goals? Is it sales? Are you looking to just grow subscriber base or mailing list? Like, you know, Twitter. Like, it really depends. But the advice you shouldn't have one. Is
that's your number one advice.
Don't
get
have
a marketing strategy.
Do not have one. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk about, like, what are your thoughts on diversity in our field? Do you feel like there is not just, we have some Black people showing up working, or do you think you see enough? And what do you think the industry needs to do better?
See, well, I actually think the word diversity is like, I think a lot of people don't even really get the full meaning of it now. Like, it's like a trigger right now. People hear diversity and they automatically, it's kind of like, I feel like the new dog whistle for like, just hire some Black people or some minorities, some women, like, just because, right? Yeah. And that's not really what it means, you know what I mean? But because of the attention and usually like the narrative around it, a lot of people just default to it. So then when it's like pushback against diversity, is usually because that's what, you know.
It's become a buzzword.
It's become a buzzword, and it's also become a mental trigger that people don't really even take time to really understand what it's really meaning and implying behind it, right? Mm-hmm. So in regards to that, I mean, yeah, definitely it could be, the industry could use more diversity but diversity is a lot of things. Right. It's not just
a race of people.
Yeah, a race of people, like some mindset, different perspectives, you know, different experiences to relate into the same product or
not marginalizing. Yeah.
So, you know, like my team that I'm in North Carolina, I'm like, this is diverse. It's me. We have a guy from Singapore. We have a few women. You know, it's that's, you know, and
a good mix of different people with different backgrounds,
and different experiences. So you can all look at the same problem from a different perspective. And I think and try to work towards the best solution, you know. And I think that's where you really, that's the essence of, you know, of a diverse situation. Because even if we're all in the same room, you know, it's some diversity, but is it, you know, are we still going to maximize out? Now, sometimes you can tell when you could just look at a campaign and be like, yeah, I don't know what was. Yeah, you can kind of guess who was in the room at the time because it's so like tone deaf, or it's like it's off brand, it's off messaging. It's
like it just missed the mark.
It missed it crazy, and it's a lot of factors. You know, obviously the makeup of the team is one thing, but it's also the strategy to go. All of those other things wasn't even addressed, or they thought they addressed it. It was the process. I don't know. You know, I wasn't in those meetings, but yeah. So diversity is definitely needed. What can the industry do better? I mean, I guess stop giving lip service to it. Actions speak louder than words. You definitely see a lot of articles written about it and stats and things, and companies say that they're committed, but it's different between that, I guess, and then the actual show up. And I mean, I'm honestly not tracking every company to see their track record, but I mean, there's definitely enough talent out there to do it. So I guess it's just really more about putting the time towards making it happen. And no two companies are the same, right? Yeah. Like, you know, it's also about what's their priority, the company's priority time, right? You know, because sometimes, you know, if it's not
the culture too of the
company, maybe they might be behind the gun on some fourth quarter sales, so they gotta get these sales popping before they can
get focused on you
know. And I mean, it's not like giving them a cop out or, you know, a pass, but there are so many factors going on, and sometimes, you know, just for me seeing behind the scenes, you know, it's a lot to address at one time. But I mean, I think we definitely see it, you know, changes and progress being made on that end, and having more diverse voices in these type of creative projects and situations. So
I disagree.
On what point?
As far as I don't think that the design industry is doing enough.
Oh, okay. I guess
because only because I think everybody's talking a lot about it.
Agree.
Yeah, and that's fine because that's to bring awareness about an issue. But I think like everyone else, they're just like, oh, we're gonna highlight the problem, but I don't think they're really trying to fix the problem. And I don't trust. I guess maybe that's my little conspiracy theorist inside of me. I don't really think it's up to I don't think that we should have to depend on other people to create our way.
Agreed.
I think that we should create our own way.
Right.
And I don't know. It's kind of that's how I look at it. Why do I need to feel like I have to be included in?
That's very valid.
You know?
No, go for it.
And I guess that's just the way I look at it. I think at first
did I come off
no,
oh, okay.
But that's just my perspective on it. I'm just putting my tidbit in it. Okay, I don't feel like I have to be accepted anymore. I feel like I'm talented enough and I could do it enough on my own. Mm-hmm. Yes, there's benefits to having certain people behind you, but I think at this day and age that you can definitely make your way. You know. And then they come to you because you made your way.
Well, they're gonna always come to you when you pop it.
Exactly. So you just gotta get popping.
They're gonna hold it. That's you make yourself hot. Everybody else gonna
come to you. Right.
That's without question. So I do agree with you on that. I mean, I agree with you on one point. So yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, definitely wasn't saying
No, I didn't think you were saying that. Right. But that was just as far as what I was disagreeing with is I don't think they genuinely really care, in my opinion. If that was the case, then something would have been done about it a long time ago.
Okay.
Because there's been black designers, there's been female designers forever. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Oh yeah, it's. I think it's representative of any group or club or anything of that nature. I mean, we know Madison. It ain't no secret on how Madison Ave moves, and so. Yeah.
You know, I think if you make yourself, the work will speak for itself.
Oh, indeed.
You will get, you know.
And I guess maybe because I'm looking at it I've did design and was kind of like, since
I'm in the business side, yeah.
So it also, but especially when you look at like the average, like buzzword is influence.